Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is the 5 best professions right now. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Now, okay, so today we are going to be going over the 5 best professions as of right now, what are performing the best, what is actually going about basically. So, that being the case, let's move into number 1, is skinning / leatherworking. Now, this is pretty damn awesome, and all you have to really do at this moment in time, what's actually causing it to be one of the best combi professions, basically it's raw gold. Now, this is because there are farms such as the Stonehide Leather Farm, where you skin up a load of Stonehide leather and you turn that into the war pants at rank 3, bear in mind, and then you vendor those. That provides you a lot of raw gold by the end of it, and you don't have to bother with the auction house. We also have the one for the coarse leather cestus, which is from the Coarse Leather Farm in Drustvar, which I have covered a couple of weeks ago. And also the one which everyone keeps raving about at the moment is the Atoll d'Azar. Now, I don't know this one because I haven't actually tested this one just yet. Now, aside from that, looking at all of the guys that are actually shouting about this and how amazing it is, it's a really strong gold for your time, because all you're doing is you're skinning a load of mobs and then you're crafting that into these specific items, and then you are just vendoring it, which is providing you with a load of raw gold overall, which is pretty damn awesome overall, and hence why I've put it at number 1 on this list, because it's raw gold, so it's going to take a little bit more time because it's a skinning / leatherworking type thing, and I'm combining them together because essentially for professions it's usually crafted professions, so it'll be leatherworking, but it doesn't really work without the skinning, so hence why I've done it as a combi. Now, coming in at number 2 is alchemy. Now, I've dropped alchemy down on the list mainly due to the fact of the high amount of people that are doing multi-boxing at the moment. Now, that is because it still sells and is still very profitable, but it's being able to be that competitive against everyone else. So this bears in mind that even with the auction house throttling at the moment, cancelling and reposting is really tedious and really hard in order to do on just a given night, such as raid night posting, so you're constantly cancel scanning, posting, cancel scanning, posting, and it's going to make it a lot harder for you to compete with everyone else, but in turn it's a lot harder for everyone else to compete against you as well. So it's something you may want to bear in mind. Bearing in mind all of her prices have dropped down, so such as like Xenanthid, Anchorweed, all of that stuff. That is mainly due to the fact of a lot of multi-boxers on a lot of high pop realms. I know that there are quite a few on some medium and low pop realms, but this is kind of the case why there's quite a lot of materials that have gone down in prices, because there's quite a lot of multi-boxers. I don't want to blame it all on the multi-boxers, but yeah, it looks that way towards me. So for obvious reasons, that is kind of irritating, because if you're just a solo person and you can't afford to have like 10 other accounts, then you're kind of up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. So aside from that, it is still very profitable to just buy your materials off of the auction house because of the materials gone down, but it's far less profitable in order to actually farm them up yourself, so to speak, because you're still fighting those nodes against all those multi-boxes, so it's something that you may want to bear in mind. Now, aside from that, the Silas proc does work quite well, but the gold for your time invested to be incredibly competitive has slightly become a bit more tedious and annoying, so to speak. So hence why I've put alchemy back down to number 2 on this list. Now, coming in at number 3 is enchanting. Now, after watching Samadam's video and a lot of other people that have actually been getting into enchanting, I've noticed that it's actually become that it's still incredibly viable and profitable in order to do. It's something you may want to bear in mind. By the way, I would say if you wanted to get into enchanting, the best person with the best guide at this moment in time is still Samadam, because his in-depth guide just covers all the bases on how to get the materials, how to craft them cheap and sell them on the auction house, and just covers all of it. I can't talk about it enough on how good it actually is. So that being the case, if you want to get into enchanting, I would recommend going over to Samadam's video, which I will actually post a link in the description down below, which will make it far easier for you guys to find. Now, aside from that, gold is just completely flying with enchanting at the moment. It's just being able to keep up with that demand, which is going to be your biggest time consuming thing. So hence why I put it at number 3 on this list. Coming in at number 4 is blacksmithing. Now, blacksmithing is a great way in order to make gold at this moment in time. And no, it's not the mono hardened stirrups. No, it's the uncanny gear. This is the uncanny gear, which is the plate armor and also the weapons that you can actually craft. This is incredibly good in order to actually do. So if you wanted to get into blacksmithing, all you be spending the majority of your time doing is getting expulsum. Realistically, it's really cheap and easy to do. All you have to do is get your marks of honor to get your uncanny stuff up in the ranks to reduce the cost, but you can do it at rank 1. It's just going to be far less profitable. So I would recommend actually getting rank 3 in all of the weapons first, then all of the armor pieces, because I find that the weapons sell the fastest and then it's the armor. So something you may want to bear in mind right there. Now, along with that, Tidesborough braces to get your expulsum. So if you have a tailor, do that. It's definitely worth it. Now, aside from all of this, definitely blacksmithing is pulling in a lot of gold at this moment in time, and it's really not that hard to keep restocked as long as you've built up some groups. Now, if you go over to the Discord, I still have my professions crafted for all professions, for all uncanny gear and weapons. So that's something you can use right there. You can just import it. You're more than welcome to. That's why I've posted it there. So if you want to use that, just go to the Discord, go to Mission Bruto, and you will find it right there. Now, that being the case, that is blacksmithing at number 4. Last on our list is at number 5, and that is inscription. Now, inscription is still incredibly profitable. Now, I asked a load of you guys the other day on whether if it's still viable for you, because I just don't want to say, oh, are these professions actually good for just me, or is it good for everyone? And the one that kept on cropping up the most was inscription. Inscription is still incredibly viable, even just crafting the Avantis runes for Ny'alotha the Waking City. Along with this, you can also make a lot of gold with your tomes, the Clear Mind, and the best thing of note is glyphs, and that is by utilizing the ink trader to craft them for cheaper using roseate pigments, and also crafting any glyphs just flat out and just posting them on the auction house. Like I said previously, the glyphs and all of my professions crafted stuff is on the Discord. If you want to get started with any of these professions, just select the groups that you want to use and then go for it. Aside from all of this, it's an insanely good way in order to make a lot of gold in a very decent amount of time, and you can also make a lot of gold just by flipping inks and pigments, providing that you have the enchant for crafting, which totally increases the amount that you can produce in like an hour or so. So that's something you may want to bear in mind right there. Along with that, overall inscription is by far the best profession at this moment in time, and I totally endorse it, like just wholeheartedly. So that being the case, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.